Good morning everybody and welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is Friday the 13th. I better turn the sound off, I'm getting an echo. Friday the 13th. That can only mean one thing. It is Rick Sanchez's birthday. So Rick, who is one of our avid followers, he is 30 years of age today. A mere young kitten in the life of a human. So congratulations to Rick on reaching 30. If you contact me after the stream, I will send you a little present from Crypto Warehouse to make that day a little bit better. And of course, it is Friday the 13th, which, believe it or not, I am Irish. Many of you don't know that. Irish descent. My surname is Fitzgerald. We invented Halloween, we invented this spooky season, and we did it not from a place of evil but a place of good, because of course we used to dress up as witches and evil spirits to ward them off. So Halloween is to celebrate warding off of evil spirits, and I think the world could do with a little bit warding off at this moment in time. Now, we have an incredible show for you today, and the reason being is I have just made a video before the stream about a new game that has come out called Bigtime. So I'm going to review that on the stream for you today. Probably most of you will have seen the token price. I'll bring that up in a second. So we're going to review Bigtime. We're going to look at ETH. Is ETH finished? I mentioned at the start of the week that there are problems with ETH, but now the news has kind of gone very bearish. People are talking about it being the end of ETH. We're going to cover that off. We're going to look at the bull or bear market. Where are we? Is also golden. We have a problem with our menu. It's not working properly, so it's cutting off half of my words. This is the golden age. Is Bitcoin about to enter the golden age, along with silver and gold and other commodities? Then we're going to look at MasterCard, what they're up to in Australia with CBDCs, and then we're going to finish with, I don't want it to be a contentious issue, but it's called bad with good, and that's because with crypto we have to take the bad with the good. I'm going to do a little bit of a talk through of the article and explain why we have to look at things in a different way when we look at public blockchains and information being out in the press. So it's a packed show. We don't have a lot of time to do it. We only have 45 minutes before the quiz. So I'm going to crack on. We're going to have a quick look at the markets as we always do, but I do hope that that Rick does make it into chat so he can see. In fact, I'd better take a screenshot for him, because you know what will happen is Rick might not make it in time. I'm going to take a quick screenshot of this for Rick, and then we're going to move on with the markets. So if it's your birthday today and you share it with Rick, happy birthday. If it's not your birthday and your birthday is soon, make sure to get in touch and we will give you a shout out. Now let me move on with the menu and let's get cracking with the markets. Now Web3 Superstar is in chat, so is Hidden Agendas. Welcome to the stream. So Web3 Superstar, it's Friday the 13th, your lucky day. It is indeed. Every day is my lucky day. What is Bigtime? We're going to go through Bigtime in a short while when we've gone through the markets. If you are new here, we are Crypto Warehouse. We stream every day. I am back tomorrow at 11 o'clock with Brogan, and we will be going through a Saturday morning show as always. But Brogan is probably going to start streaming Bigtime, the game itself, as well. So keep a lookout for that. And as I say, if you are new here, like, subscribe, smash the like button, press all the buttons apart from off, and help us out basically. So the markets are down just a tad. We're still at 1.05 trillion. Volume is down 22 billion, nothing to write home about. Bitcoin dominance at 50%. I'm expecting that to rise fairly soon. ETH dominance is disappearing into nowhere. That was up towards 20-21% a few months ago. That is down. If we have a look at the 24-hour gainers, Loom Network is soaring. Thorchain is up, Trust Wallet, Woo Network, Injective. Nothing else is really up. Not many down either. Mantle, Render, Rocket Pool, Toncoin. Not too much is down. We're kind of in one of those periods of time where we don't know where we are. We don't know whether we're supposed to be bullish. We don't know whether we're supposed to be bearish. I said this on the stream yesterday, probably on Monday as well. I'm not trading Bitcoin at the minute because I just don't know where we're headed. And on Twitter, somebody put up a comment that I made about 2 weeks ago, and I said if we don't hold above 27,000, we're going to come down to 26,800, and lo and behold, we are at 26,000 and pretty much 26,780, so pretty much there. The reason being is that is simply where we are in the market. People are arguing about all kinds of things, and for me, when people argue, it causes indecision, and when indecision is caused, we just basically freeze and we crab, and that's where we are at this moment in time. We are crabbing. Now let's move on. Yesterday was a good show. We managed to get it done in 41 minutes and then spent a bit longer on the quiz. And today we're going to do the same. Web3 Superstar, I am always bullish. You are indeed, and you should always buy the dips, except when it keeps dipping. When the dips keep dipping, that's when you have a problem. You need to DCA in and have the right strategy for that. So Ethereum drops 1.9% to a 7-month low as crypto buckles further following inflation data. Risk-off sentiment hit markets as a slightly hotter than expected inflation reading boosted US Treasury rates and the dollar. So of course, the US Treasury is paying out a substantial amount at this moment in time, so people tend to go towards that during inflation. They don't look at risky assets because they're more volatile when the markets are going through a recessionary period or where they're trying to contract the market. Risk on assets are avoided. Bitcoin, Ethereum fall into that category. People move across to more stable assets such as bonds. Although I'm not sure I would be buying American bonds given the amount of debt that they are in. So ETH sank as low as $5,223, its weakest price since March. CoinDesk data shows it's since bounced back to $15.31. What are we at today? I'm going to take you through the Ethereum chart. That's what we do on the hybrid show. Where are we as of today? 15.30 are we? 15.45, we've recovered a little bit more. Okay. Bitcoin, meanwhile, was off at 26.6. Solana is off. So this doesn't really help when we have titles like this. Remember, in the hybrid show, we look at both the charts and the news. That way you can kind of see why prices are where they are. And then when we look at charts, you can see why prices are where they are on the charts. So we try and do a double dip at the start of the show with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, things like that. So Ethereum dropping 2% to a 7-month low is not anything to be concerned about. And as far as I can see, Ethereum is still going to be my second largest holding going into the next bull market. I am fairly conservative when it comes to crypto. My top two holdings are Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they always have been, and they probably always will be, unless something dramatic happens. Now, when you see these kind of dramatic titles, 7-month low. So if we go back over the price action over the year, let's just remind ourselves of where we were, shall we? So Ethereum in October last year, Ethereum was at $1,300, $1,290. That's where we were this time last year in a bear market. We are currently, let's say for argument's sake, 20% higher than where we were. Yes, we are at a 7-month low, but that's because we've come up, we've now fallen below its own bull market support band, and we're in this downward channel, as we covered this the other day. So if in doubt, zoom out and try and look at where we are. Let me remove a few of these lines for a minute to try and explain a few things. So Ethereum, a little bit like XRP, we've had a very, very long-term trend line. Yes, we've had our bull run, but if you look, we've put in higher lows for 3 years. Same as XRP, it's done exactly the same thing. We've had our bottom. Now, if you look where we are at this moment in time, we've had similar bottom signals in December last year and June last year. And that's where we kind of have a bit of a wobble and we come down and we kind of touch this line and then we move up. And currently this line is at 1450. That's where we are. That fib level, by the way, is 1250. So as far as I'm aware, as far as I can see, Ethereum is just crabbing the same way Bitcoin is crabbing. And when you see a headline that says 7-month low, take it with a pinch of salt. If it was putting in a multi-year low, if Ethereum was trading in this range here, which is $900, that was at $900, or it dropped to $900 in June last year. So even that isn't too low. You would have to look down towards maybe $500 for the last previous low. These naysayers are not going to win you over if you stick to the fundamentals. And what are the fundamentals? Ethereum is being built on top of, whether it be Polygon or any of the other layer 2s, it's being built upon. That will mean that Ethereum, for the foreseeable future, is always going to be one of the top chains because everybody builds on top of it or on top of a layer 2. That's why you shouldn't bet against Ethereum. Also, for those of you that like your signals, I know Web3 Superstar loves it when I draw my lines. What can we see here? We can see bullish divergence on the daily, which is fairly strong. So don't bet against Bitcoin. Don't bet against Ethereum. If you're going to bet against something, bet against an unproven layer 1, layer 2 altcoin. That's where you need to have less faith. You should have, for the next 3 or 4 years, have utmost faith in things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, because for the foreseeable future, as we're going to go and talk about today, people are building CBDCs on Ethereum. If you look at UBS, if you look at BlackRock, if you look at Vanguard, what chain are they using? They're using Ethereum. These are multi-billion pound, trillion pound investment houses, and they are building fractionalized funds on the back of Ethereum. Do you think Ethereum is going to go anywhere? No. Do you think people want to go and use Solana? No. They want to use, and I'm not going to get into what happened with Solana and the FTX trial because that's for a different time. Maybe I'll cover that tomorrow. But they're not going to use Cardano, Solana. They're going to use Ethereum. It's the biggest dog in the park. Bitcoin doesn't play in the park, by the way. Bitcoin has a castle with a moat and it has a smoking jacket and smokes cigars and drinks whiskey in the morning. Ethereum is the biggest dog in the park. Don't back against it. So what if it's at a 7-month low? That just means you can buy more. So don't worry about that. If you're going to look for an upper range in the short term for Ethereum, you'd be looking at 1950. So we've got a good 25% up from here. And what's likely to happen, and again, I don't have a crystal ball, nobody does, is we're probably going to do this. Probably going to retest this maybe end of the year. Maybe be at a 1950 by the end of the year. Going into the new year with a $2,000 Ethereum means we should be looking at an $8,000 to $10,000 Ethereum at the end of the next bull run, if everything goes as it has done in the past. forgetting ETFs, forgetting wars, that's where we should be looking at an $8,000 to $10,000 Ethereum. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. But I am going to move on now to Bigtime. Let me just update everything. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I saw the charts of Bigtime yesterday and the day before. It only came out 2.5 days ago, and as Web3 will tell you, I am very, very negative when it comes to Web3 games, when it comes to NFTs, when it comes to anything which is cash grabs. And a cash grab is where people just basically hype something up, take the money off you, and away we go. Now, I'm going to bring up the website and I'm going to bring up the chart action. Now, whichever platform you are watching us on, you can trade Bigtime. And I'm not making any dad jokes about that. I will leave that for the audience. Let me just bring the chart up. There we go. So, Bigtime, I have made a video on it. I'm going to edit and upload that video today. Bigtime is a Web3 game. It's a little bit like Fortnite, it's a little bit like Blizzard, it's a little bit like Decentraland, and there is a damn good reason for that. And that reason is the team. And I'm going to go through this in my video. It's going to be about a 15-minute video. You can pick any one of these people and you can go and look at their history. Ari worked for Decentraland for 6 years. He's the CEO. Matthew Tonks was at Epic Games for about 3 or 4 years. Epic Games made Fortnite. Brian, Michael, Maihi, Doug, Stanley. Go and check out their LinkedIn profiles. Go and look them up. These are the companies they have worked for. Epic Games, Rockstar, Riot, Activision, Blizzard. These are blue chip employees, staff, CEOs, whatever you want to call them. The team is blue chip. And my admission is I started making the video about Bigtime and I came at it from the same negative point of view that I do when I look at any other Web3 game, which is it's a waste of time and it's not going to work. I was wrong. I was wrong about Bigtime, and I'm big enough to admit it. The reason this game is going to work, and the reason this game and the token, which we'll get onto in a second, is going to work is because the economy is based on the players. So all of the NFTs that are used in the game, and I'm not going to go into the game now because we're not that kind of channel. Brogan will do some live streams of it on it. Is if you play Fortnite or if you play Diablo 4, you are buying your equipment from the publisher. You're buying it from Blizzard. You're buying it from Epic Games. That doesn't work. Everything in the game is made by the players. So the players make the guns, the skins, the tools. To earn the token, you need time glasses, whatever they're called. You need a special token, and you need to hold that token for you to earn Bigtime tokens. So the market isn't going to be flooded with tokens in the next couple of weeks. The price isn't going to go to zero. It's a managed economy. It's free to play, although at the minute it's not free to play. You have to buy one of the NFTs to play because it's in pre-release stage. It says up here, I believe. Anyway, it's on the front page. It's in the pre-release stage. You can buy cosmetics, you have workshops, you have spaces, you have various different characters. And in my video, I've covered the tokenomics, the economy, everything about it. In fact, let me bring up, I have all the links already here to go through it with you. So I've done a complete 180 on this, and I am now a massive fan. The market cap is $42 million. Criminal. It's in a criminal level. It is so low. Okay. However, the fully diluted market cap, which is if all the tokens were going to be released, it would be $1.1 billion, which is incredibly high. However, there is only a circulating supply of about 3%. The token hasn't been released. That's token inflation, for me, is going to be its biggest problem. But the way that the tokens are being released means that it's probably not going to be a problem in the foreseeable future, because you have to work very hard to access the tokens and earn the tokens. And to make NFTs in the game, you need to buy the token. So there's a limited supply. The token has to be consumed to make the NFTs. And then when those NFTs are sold, the economy grows in that way. It doesn't grow based off the back of the token. So everything about the project, for me, I'm bullish on. And I didn't think I was going to say that. I thought, you know what, I'm going to look at Bigtime before the stream. I'm going to make a video on it, and I'm going to go through it on the stream so people understand how terrible NFT games are. I'm wrong. I'm completely wrong. So I'm bullish on Bigtime. And I'm bullish on it because of the economy they've put in place. So I can't leave links anywhere, but I am going to make a video about the project, and I will try and put links up in places. Now, the one thing that I did put in my video that I am going to give you on the stream is I'm going to give you my price prediction for the bull run. I'm not going to give you my price prediction for today or tomorrow, because as you can see, this token has been trading since Wednesday morning. It's been trading for 2.5 days or 2.25 days. What I have said in my video is the price will possibly retest this level here, which I believe is 20 cents. However, there is massive upward momentum on this game. This game isn't really out yet, so there's a low level of demand for the token because it's not out yet. Yes, it's had a pump up, and yes, it started at 5 cents and it's gone to 25 cents. I know all that, but we can pretty much ignore all of that price action because it was being listed on exchanges. People were buying. Forget it all. Let's look at the price action moving forward. Where could the price go to? Well, in the short term, 35 cents. But my prediction for a good level to look at Bigtime would be 80 cents. Why would I say 80 cents? The reason I say 80 cents is that would give it a $100 million market cap, which I think is where the project is valued. So forget tokenomics, forget, RSI, forget all of these, pretty fib levels. Where should a project and how should a project be valued? Well, you have Fortnite to compare it to, Blizzard and Warcraft, you have Diablo, you have all of these other games which are private companies. Look at their valuations, massive, multiples of Bigtime. If Bigtime becomes a quarter of the size of Fortnite, and it does lead to mass adoption, because one of the things I've not mentioned, I don't want to go into the actual game tokenomics of it. You don't need a wallet. You don't need your own wallet. You don't need to have your own MetaMask connection. Everything sits within your account. You don't need to know anything about crypto to play this game. That is why I am so bullish on this game. And there's loads of you out there that have seen me before. You've heard what I have to say. You know that I do not hype things up, and this isn't sponsored. I'm not sponsored by Bigtime. Everything's my opinion. This game is going to be huge. That's the bottom line. And if the game is huge, then the tokenomics behind the game are also going to be huge. And in the short term, this could retrace to 15 cents, was it? This level here, sorry, 20 cents it could retrace to. It could come all the way back down to about 13 cents. It could, which would be a 40% drop from where we are now. It could do that. So what I'm saying is, bookmark the project, go to TradingView, or if you're on one of the exchanges that we're streaming on, go and bookmark this token, keep an eye on it, and if you see a retracement to 15 or 20 cents, that would, for me, be a really good place to buy this token. Not financial advice. Do your own research. I said the same thing about Blazel. Wait for Blazel to come down in price and then buy on the next leg up. This is going to do one of two things, and I have no confirmation on it. We're going to find support here and blast off. Okay? Or we're going to struggle. It's going to come down here, could come down here, and then it's going to blast off. Whatever happens, this token is going to go up in value because they've strangled the supply. And that's the key. If they were pumping 1 million tokens a day into the ecosystem, there'd be a problem. But they're not doing that. So I'm very, very bullish on this token. I would strongly recommend you go and look at it. Just go to Google and type in Bigtime Crypto and you will see it. And I am going to drop a video in a few hours after this stream with all the details of the project, all the links, everything else is going to be dropped, and you'll be able to watch that if you want to. Now, let's move on. You talk about Bitcoin is currently neither bullish or bearish, traders say. Well, I am not a trader, and I say the same thing. Right, let me just drop a box, and let's crack on. Okay, how are we doing for time? 25 past. We've run a bit behind, but that's because I was praising Bigtime. Okay, right. So major tokens seem to stabilize on Friday morning following a week-long price drop. Crypto traders expect the approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF to reinvigorate the markets. Major tokens such as XRP, Sol, BNB have stabilized after being in the red. So Bitcoin is at 26,800 mark. I don't know who proofreads this stuff, but they need to do a better job. Losing 3% in the past week. Ether is down 5%. Other major tokens are also down. This happens in the market. 5% in crypto is not even worth getting out of bed for at the end of the day. What's 5% on Bitcoin? $1,000. What's 5% on ETH? $75. Neither here nor there. You know, what we need to see is we need to get to the bull run. We need to start seeing God candles, because a 20% move in Bitcoin in a day, 25% move in Ethereum in a day is not unheard of, and it will happen. Bitcoin has recently been in a building phase, said Andy Bromberg, CEO of Beam. At the moment, there's a balance with few newcomers entering into Bitcoin and equally few exiting. The balance creates a relatively stable price. Meanwhile, part of Friday's stability in the Bitcoin-led market has come from the confidence in the long-term quality asset after initial sell-off scare. Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement. I'm not trading Bitcoin. I hold Bitcoin. I have a long position on Bitcoin, and I've had that long position for a while. I'm just not in. This is the accumulation phase. So if you're watching this now and you're saying to yourself, should I buy Bitcoin? My answer would be, go to your exchange, which you're currently watching us on, set up a dollar cost average buy-in to Bitcoin, and set it to buy Bitcoin every Monday at 5 p.m, for example. So if you have, for argument's sake, you have $1,000 and you want to buy Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin over the next 10 weeks. That will take you to near enough the end of the year. Buy every Monday at 4 o'clock. Buy $100 of Bitcoin at the same time, on the same day, every week for the next 10 weeks. That is how I would buy into Bitcoin now. Why? We could go to $25,000 next week. We don't know. We could go to $30,000 next week. We don't know. Bitcoin ETFs could be approved. We could go to $40,000 in December. We don't know. Nobody on the internet really knows. So just try and follow a systematic way to enter the market, and that is to dollar cost average in. The same with any token. If you want to buy $500 of Solana, buy $50 of Solana every week between now and the end of the year. You can YOLO in today with your $500 and the price of Solana will go down to $17. And you've missed that opportunity to average price in. If you don't know what dollar cost averaging is, you can either contact me and I'll send you a video about it, or you can go to a popular streaming platform, type in dollar cost averaging, and it will explain it to you. We have covered it before on this channel. It's just one of those things. We're not going to go through it today. But as far as I can see, this is an accumulation range. And yes, we might go down $1,000. We might go up $1,000, but I think we're going to be here until at least middle of November. So moving on, there appears to be a article missing from the menu. Let me just double check. Bad with good. Bad with good has completely disappeared off the menu. Let me add that back in. I'm having all kinds of problems with this menu. Hopefully that will update. If not, it doesn't really matter, we'll just talk about it. So Bitcoin will shatter silver and gold's market cap according to crypto analyst. Here's his timeline. Are we assuming the gender of this analyst by any chance? Should we be doing that in 2023? In a new video, the anonymous host of the YouTube channel Invest Answers tells his 447,000 subscribers the price of Bitcoin cannot be easily manipulated, unlike those of precious metals. He'd been worried a lot, and I have answered so many questions about whether the paper versions of gold and Bitcoin can change their real-world prices. Can paper Bitcoin put a lid on the price so the price doesn't go up? The problem is there's a big difference between Bitcoin and gold. For gold, it's impossible to know if there is a gold backing to the paper that exists, which makes things very risky. On the other hand, with Bitcoin it's much easier to prove, and checking makes it much more trustworthy. That's a mouthful and a half. Forget the 20 advantages that Bitcoin has over gold. I believe Bitcoin will smash gold performance over the next 8 to 10 years because you can verify. Therefore, I know a lot of people are worried about paper and manipulation by the JP Morgans and the BlackRocks of the world, but they can't because it will be so easily verified. Now, why have they called him anonymous? Because I know this guy. Anyway, we're going to talk about something at the end of the show which is quite contentious. And I'm not doing it to be contentious, I'm doing it to highlight this very point, which is this. I know a lot of people are worried about paper and manipulation by JP Morgans and the BlackRocks of the world, but they can't because it can so easily be verified. Now that's what I'm going to talk about at the end of the show, so just bear that in mind when we get there. This is why I'm talking about it. It is a public ledger. Everything is recorded. At this moment in time, I can go into an art dealer with £20,000 of money that I have acquired immorally, for example, and I can buy a piece of art. I can then take that piece of art and sell it, and then take that money or bank transfer to my bank and deposit it. And the bank goes, oh, you've got that from art. That's a verified transaction from the art supplier or art dealer or whatever. We will put it in your bank. You cannot see where that money came from. Now, if that was on a public ledger, you would know where I got that $20,000 from. So let's say I hacked somebody's wallet and I stole that $20,000 from them, and I bought a $20,000 NFT and I sold it on OpenSea, and then I transferred the $20,000 from OpenSea to my bank account. The police and the authorities would see and be able to trace back where that $20,000 came from. That's why criminals should not be using the blockchain to carry out their naughty, illegal, immoral, corrupt activities. And that is why Bitcoin will always have an advantage over the US dollar, over gold, over other commodities, over diamonds, because you can trace it back. Diamonds are not on the blockchain. You don't know where that diamond that you have on your ring, on your finger has come from, or where you wear around your neck. You don't know where that diamond has came from. You don't know if anybody has been injured or anything. You don't know the history of it. You do on the blockchain. That's why it's so important. And it's a really important thing to understand. Now, we're kind of going to move on to the MasterCard article, which has disappeared. As I say, the menu has just decided to give up the ghost. I'm going to get Hollywood to fix it for me, I hope. So MasterCard tests CBDCs on Ethereum in Australia pilot. The trial focused on showcasing interoperability between private and public blockchains. I'm not going to go through too much of this because we're doing okay for time. I don't want to run out too much. So MasterCard recently completed a central bank digital currency trial in collaboration with the Reserve Bank of Australia and the Digital Finance Cooperative Research Centre. The project explored MasterCard's capabilities to enable CBDC transactions on the public Ethereum blockchain. Now, one thing I mentioned yesterday, which is do as I do, not as I say. In Australia, over the last few months, most of the major banks in Australia have banned crypto transactions to protect you, which is utter BS. They are not protecting you, they are protecting themselves. They are protecting themselves from crypto and from blockchain. MasterCard, Bank of Australia, every bank in Australia is working on blockchain technology that they can control. And CBDCs, which is issued by the central bank, is just another example of them controlling the money. That is what they are trying to do, control the money. They don't care about you, they're not protecting you, the same way that the SEC is not protecting Americans. It is hindering blockchain technology, and most of the time it's not doing it for the good of you, the individual. So MasterCard showcased how its tech could allow a holder of a pilot CBDC to purchase an NFT listed on the public Ethereum blockchain. To enable this, the solution locked the required CBDC amount on the RBA's platform while minting wrapped tokens on Ethereum. This demonstrated the MasterCard's ability to maintain necessary controls and compliance even when transacting CBDCs on a public blockchain like Ethereum. The company leveraged its multi-token network and crypto credential offerings that focus on verification standards and scalable interoperability. Alongside MasterCard, the project also involved Australian payment company Cuscal and the NFT marketplace Mintable. So what they are trying to do, and there is some merit in what they're trying to do, is trying to solve the problem I've just been talking about in the previous article, which is keeping track of real money on the blockchain. And CBDCs, of course, are issued by a bank, so they're not anonymous. They know at every twist and turn how much money each wallet and each person has. So it's not anonymous. And what they're trying to do is see if they can track that CBDC from a centralized location through Ethereum. So how can they track the transaction from the bank in Australia through the Ethereum network and out again? That's what they're trying to do, and create a paper trail, which you do need. You do need to have some level of accountability, and that is needed. What isn't needed is the control over how you spend your money. I totally disagree with that, but I do agree with this, and we're going to get onto another article in a minute, and I'm going to explain why we need accountability and traceability. So CBDCs are a bad thing on the whole if they can be abused, but the actual ability to audit the blockchain and audit transactions is needed to avoid what we're going to talk about next. So I don't quite know how this menu is working, but here we go. Also, by the way, I cannot see chats today. Everything has gone off. Oh, we have a question about ETH. Drunken Ink discussion joined. The ETH trend, I've got bullish divergence on ETH. So I'm going to put that into chat. Bullish divergence on ETH on daily, which normally means that we are going to look towards a recovery, if you like. So I've got bullish divergence on ETH. I would suggest that in the shorter term we are likely to see something of an increase in price. Okay, where are we? Let me come back to this. Okay, so this is what I was talking about before, the bad with the good. So in the last 6 months we have had various earthquakes and natural disasters around the world, and we have been able to send aid to those places immediately, and that's a good thing, because people who don't have any money, where you can send them crypto to be able to buy essential goods, whatever it might be, food, water, whatever it might be, is a good thing. This is not such a good thing, but I'm going to explain why we need this to... If we have this on the blockchain, then we can make changes which will stop this from happening. But it's visible, which is a good thing. We can see it, which is a good thing. And that's why we need to take the bad with the good. Now, just let me update the menu and everything for a second, because as I said, everything's gone wrong on the menu. I don't know where we are on the menu, but let me update this for you. Go back in for 1 second. Yeah. Okay, we are back. So the donation is small compared to the volume raised in state-sponsored support. So the affiliates received millions in crypto donations, according to reports by the Wall Street Journal, based on data from forensics from Elliptic and Tel Aviv software company BitOK. The group received $93 million in crypto between August and June 2023, and 41 million in the same time frame. Crypto is often seen as a subterfuge financial method for groups and nations cut from the US-controlled global financial system. North Korean hackers, for example, have gained millions of dollars in crypto from hacking various protocols and projects. Because of the privacy-preserving nature of many cryptocurrencies, these flow of funds are hard to track, raising anxiety amongst government agencies. This is wrong. This is wrong. It's a public ledger. These flows of funds are not hard to track at all. They're easy to track, and you can keep an eye on them. That's the point. That is the point of it being on a public ledger. CoinDesk reported this June that the Wing received $100,000 in Bitcoin since the beginning of 2021, with a spike in donations in May. Still, crypto is not the main source of money. So why did I raise this point? I raised this point because we have to take the good with the bad. And the point of crypto is that crypto shows everything, warts and all. And we can choose to live in one of two worlds. And this is the point I want to make. We can live in a world where everything is hidden from you and you are not allowed to see what happens. You are not allowed to know what transactions take place, what deposits are sent to people. You can choose to live in that world because that's the world we currently live in. And for me, I don't want to live in that world because that world is full of corruption and that world is full of bribery, people being bought. Look at the senators in America and how many millions and millions of dollars they receive every year from the banks, from the sugar producing companies, from the health pharmaceutical companies. I don't want to live in that world because that is the world that we've lived in for 100, 200, 300 years and it hasn't really worked properly. With crypto, we have an opportunity to move transactions onto a blockchain and make everything visible. What I mean by that is that if I donate $1,000 to the Turkey earthquake appeal or the Moroccan earthquake appeal, somebody could go and find that transaction and know that I sent $1,000 to that charity to help with the earthquake appeal. That's a good thing that you can see that. But it's also a good thing if you see that I send $1,000 to somebody else who I shouldn't be sending money to. So you have to take the good with the bad, and we have to have more transparency than we've got because there's no transparency. There's millions and billions of dollars flowing between America and countries around the world where we don't see what they're getting or why they're getting it. If Bitcoin and blockchain can make a difference in that way where you as an individual can't send money. So for example, you cannot send your money. You can't go in and tell your bank, I want to send this money to this person, because that bank will say, well, they're on a blacklist and you're not allowed to do that. Okay, fine, that's how it should be. On the blockchain, we can see you do that. We know what you're paying and who you're paying it to, but we also know what politicians are being paid and who they're paying it to. And that information over time will be done through CBDCs as well as through Bitcoin and crypto. So be careful what you wish for, and I would want transparency above all else. And even if that means taking the bad with the good, we have to accept that not everybody in this world thinks the way that we do, and not everybody in the world has an honest opinion like we do. We just have to understand that there are different people in the world that we don't agree with. So that's why I brought that up, is that we should want that type of world. Now, we're still at 26,800, by the way. We haven't really changed since the start of the stream, which is fine. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to do a quick quiz. So for those of you that haven't taken part in the quiz before, it is very simple. I ask you some very simple crypto questions. You answer them in chat, and I will give you a shout out if you have won. Miralay, welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. I don't know what that number means that you've pasted into chat, but thank you anyway. Feel free to take part in the quiz. Same for anybody that's watching anywhere else. So the first question, again, this quiz is supposed to be a bit of fun at the end of the stream. First question is Bigtime, which we've covered on the stream today. Is Bigtime a game or is it a circus? All you have to do is type game or circus in lowercase into chat to win. Very simple. Is Bigtime the project that I have covered? Is it a circus or is it a game? Starting you off with a really easy one. Tariq, you are always in the thame. What does the thame mean? Is Bigtime a game or is it a circus? All you have to do, type that answer into chat and you've won. And for those of you that are interested, I will bring up the token here. So the token is called Bigtime, all one word. There's a lot of you getting this right. I'm going to scroll back up in a second and have a look at the questions that have been asked. So there are 32 of you that got that right. Bigtime is of course a Web3 game. It is not a circus. So Crypto, Aninda, Guga, Mile, Iron Boney, Geo, Sir, B-Roll, Gina Bar, Franjava, Theo, Tariq, congratulations. All got that right. Let me have a look. Tariq, autocorrect. Yes, that's true. So the Bigtime token is called Bigtime. I am, full disclosure, I don't hold Bigtime at this moment in time. I do hold Ethereum. I forgot to mention that during the stream. I hold Bitcoin. I hold Ethereum. I don't hold Bigtime at the minute. I only reviewed the project this morning, so the video that I've made about it, I'm going to edit and upload in the next couple of hours. So by maybe 4 or 5 o'clock today, which is in about 3 hours time, I should have the video uploaded about Bigtime. Massively bullish on it, and I haven't been super bullish on that many projects recently. I did cover GDOL a couple of days ago, and that is a scam, and you will know, if you've seen me before, I call out scams. GDOL is a scam. It doesn't have a contract address because it doesn't have a token, but it's a scam. I did cover Neutron, sorry. Neutron looks good, needs adoption, of course, like many things. It's secure, that looks decent, I've covered that recently. Bigtime for me though, Bigtime blows them all out the water. It's the first AAA rated game I can see, other than Star Atlas, that has been launched. And for me, I'm very bullish. Price action on the token, I didn't actually say before. In the bull run, not today, in the bull run it could quite easily hit $2 or $3. In the short term, I think it could hit 80 cents, which would give it a market cap of about $120 million. So that's where I am. Fran. Okay, Fran. It's difficult because you don't know whether people like to be called, there's people in chat, and I don't know if I'm saying their surname or their first name, so I just have to read out what their actual username is, if you know what I mean. Right, next question. Okay. Also, you might have noticed that the rewards have doubled. That's because we've received quite a few tips in the last couple of days. So, 2 things. Number 1, for free, please follow us, please like the stream, and if you do want to tip us, we convert those tips into crypto and give them back. We don't make any money out of these streams. Everything we do either comes out of our pocket or comes out of the donations from you. So just bear that in mind. That's why we tip. That's why we give away more than normal sometimes. So the next question, very simple question. So, this is a true or false question. The total Ethereum supply at this moment in time is 200 million. Are there 200 million Ethereum swimming around in the ecosystem at this moment? Is that true or false? All you have to do is type true or false, and I'll give you a shout out. Welcome back, Jane. Jane's becoming a nice regular viewer, as is Miralay of the stream, and I greatly appreciate it. So for those of you that come here, I recognise your name. I've got a terrible memory for names when I see people in public, but on these streams I obviously don't see your faces, but I know names. So Miralay comes here quite a lot, Jane comes here quite a lot, obviously Tariq, Frangifer, I recognise all those names. Just nice to see. So true or false, the total current supply of Ethereum is 200 million. Is that true or false? Not many people getting this right. I didn't think it was that difficult a question, to be perfectly honest with you. It's like if you said to me, what's the total supply of Bitcoin at the minute, I'd say it's about 19.5 million because we crossed it a few weeks ago. The total supply of Ethereum at this moment in time is 120 million, not 200 million. So the answer is false. How many people got that right? 15. Fran, Jace, Crypto IAMs, Rick, Prototype, or Rick, I'll just call you Rick from now on. Tariq, well done. Chevon is back in chat. So it is false. It's 120 million. So commiserations to all of those that put true. But we try. This is supposed to be a little bit of education, really. I mean, Bigtime token. Bigtime looks good. ETH looks good from here. There's bullish divergence on the daily, which is big. So I think ETH's a good time to buy. Anywhere between, let me look at it this way. If I said to you Ethereum will hit $6,000 in the next bull run, if I said that to you today and you went and bought one Ethereum today for $1,500, it would be worth $6,000 in 2 years' time. If you take crypto out of the equation and I said to you, put $1,500 into that bank account right there, and in 2 years' time it would be worth $6,000, why wouldn't you buy Ethereum at $1,500? I'm not saying it's going to $15,000. I'm saying that in the previous bull run it hit 4,500, whatever it was, but it hit 6,000, 8,000. Yes. So is this a good time to buy Ethereum? Absolutely. Is it a good time to buy Bitcoin? Absolutely. These are not bad prices to get in at. And if you dollar cost average in, and we do go down a little bit more, then the average price of what you buy Ethereum for might end up being $1,400, which is a steal. So always bear that in mind, especially when we get ETFs. Thank you, Ricardo. Chronicle Crypto, I am buying ETH. I think that's a good move. I'm fairly lucky with ETH, is that I've been staking my ETH for about 3 years. So I make enough ETH from my staking to just restake it and build it up. So I make, I don't know how many ETH a year it is, but I just restake it and reaccumulate it, if you like. So that's how I get on with my ETH. I just keep restaking it. The same with my Cardano. I've got my Cardano staked and I restake it every once in a while. So I'm accumulating that way with Ethereum and Cardano. Next question. We're at 2 o'clock already. Okay, next question is, think something. I might ask a chicken question. So a chicken question is a question whereby if you know the answer, don't answer until the end. That's the point of the chicken question. Because I'm only going to give away a few boxes. If you answer too quickly, too many people get the question right, you'll lose, which we don't want. We like winners on this channel. We are all winners. Now, I'm going to think of something which... oh... So put the answer in lower case. for this question. So, what is the surname of the founder of Polkadot? No cheating, no looking on Google, no looking at the answer. Don't know, you don't know. But no cheating. And by the way, the person who answers this first gets called the chicken. Hockey bar. The surname of the founder of Polkadot, Munaya, it's not dot. Crypto IAMs, it's not dot. That's the ticker name. Oh. We've got an answer. We have an answer. And we have winners. Well, I am impressed. So the chicken question is never meant to be easy. It's always meant to be difficult. So that's the point of the chicken question. 16 of you got that right. Now, I do believe some of you have copied the answer. I can't believe you've all got that right. Fran, congratulations. You'll also notice that the rewards skyrocket when we do the chicken question because there's so few people who get it right. So Thunder, Megumi, Chevon, Crypto IAMs, Janiba Adnan, Tariq. How did you only get that amount, Tariq? Ishan, congratulations, Cassie. If I was you, Tariq, don't go and look at the list of winners. It will make you cry. So the answer is, of course, Wood. Gavin Wood. Now, I like to spread a bit of honesty on this channel, and I would suggest that after the stream you all go and look up Gavin Wood, because he's not a nice human being and he is somebody that probably don't want to associate yourselves with. For the record, I do not hold any Polkadot because of what he has said and what he has done. And I am not going to tell you on the stream what he has said and what he has written. That's for you to go and find out, but I am not a fan of him. So go and have a look. I am going to take out that monkey, I'm going to lock him, and I'm going to throw away the key. Next question. That was a good chicken question. That went really well. Now for an easy one. And this is a very simple question. The total supply of Bitcoin, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. Is that true or false? Will there only ever be 21 million Bitcoin? Is that true or false? All you have to do is type true or false into chat. You'll win. Is there only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin? Let me know in chat. Hit refresh. Go. Loads of people getting this one right. Now, the next question is, which isn't a quiz question, I'm not going to ask it. Do you know why and where the 21 million total supply of Bitcoin comes from? Because he hasn't pulled that number out of thin air. He has used a very, I wouldn't say very simple mathematical equation. He's used a mathematical equation to calculate why there will be 21 million Bitcoin. So it's actually worth going to look up. And for all of you out there that haven't read the white paper, I would suggest going and spending an hour reading the white paper. The Bitcoin white paper is not as long as you would think. It's about 4 or 5 pages long. There's not a lot to it. So CR7, congratulations. Zaha, smile. Toshi himself is in chat. Jace, Adil, Adishani, Kishan, well done to you. Sally, well done. Samantha, well done. Chevon, King Khan, Fran, Tariq, Munaya, and Teo, you are all winners. I would just like to point out one thing as well. I am very sexist on this channel. I like to see girls' names, or women's names, should I say, in chat, because I think we should make a concerted effort to bring more women to crypto than there are. I think the study was shocking. I think something like 90% or 85% of people in crypto are men, which is wrong. So when I see women's names in chat, it always fills my heart, because I'm not going to go out and bring more women to crypto. That's not what we do on here, but it's just nice to see so many female names in chat. Good afternoon, Adil. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Hello, Meds. All right, I'm going to ask another question, and then I've got some time left because we've not done too badly today, but I want to go and edit my video about Bigtime, which will take me a couple of hours, so I need to do that. And then I need to have some Friday off, because today I've been working since about 8:30, now 2 o'clock. I've had coffee. I probably need to have something to eat. Right, next question. Let me think of something which is fairly easy. It takes so long to type these questions in. There we go. Okay, simple question. Very easy to follow. What is the token on the Cardano chain called? What is the token on the Cardano chain called? All you have to do is give me the name of the token and you are a winner. And then after this, I'm going to drop a box and I am going to go and have some late lunch, I think. It's now 2:10. What is the name of the token on the Cardano chain? Just drop that name into chat. Loads of people are getting this right. Remember, you have to type the answer in lowercase. If you type it in uppercase, you won't win. "20 seconds left. What's the name of the token on the Cardano chain? What's it called?" Eight seconds left. 6, 5. By the time you're hearing me say this, of course, it will have expired. So the correct answer is ADA. ADA is the name of the token associated with the Cardano chain, Cardano project. I'm not going to read out all the names. There's quite a few of you that have got that right. Fran again, Adil, Mike, Tariq, Moto, call me Rolex. Nice to see you again. Captain Nasercell or Nasercell, Oliver, congratulations. Cassie, well done to all. So I'm going to drop a box in a second, so just before you leave, just wait for the box to drop. I just want to say a couple of things, do some housekeeping at the end of the stream. So we are back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We will be streaming from the office, and I will be joined, hopefully be joined by the good-looking James Bond type, which is Hollywood. He'll be back with me tomorrow at 11 o'clock, so we'll be streaming 2 hours earlier than we are today. I've made a video about Bigtime, which I'm going to drop in about 3 hours. So make sure to have a look out for that video. I go through the project, the tokenomics, the team, give you my price conclusions, the usual type of things. So keep an eye out for that. That's pretty much it. Have a great Friday. Have a great rest of the evening or rest of the day, wherever you are. Thank you for coming, Starflower. Thank you for coming, everybody. Captain, nice to see you guys. Happy birthday again to Rick. I've taken a screenshot. I'm going to put it into our Telegram group. But thank you, everybody. We will see you all soon. And with that, I am going to go and hopefully have some lunch. Take care, everyone.